So let me ask you a question. Who here has an iPhone?
Oh, no, you got us.
Yeah.
We have iPhones. The radical left loses again.
I totally get that you're trying to make people feel bad about their individual actions, and I do think there's a lot of individual responsibility with climate change. What we need to be focusing on is empowering individuals to then mobilize communities and enact systematic reform and policies. I don't think shame is a motivator for saying, oh, you can't have an iPhone, oh, you need to be vegan or vegetarian. That's not what we're trying to get at.
So let me ask you a question. Who here has a device that we have essentially deemed a requirement in modern society to have if you want to do anything of value or of fun or get a job or anything like that, really? Now, obviously, and some of you already know this, he's doing a bit to make fun of Republican talking points, but he does a really fantastic job because he ends up getting the perfect answer out of that teenage girl. It's like saying, well, you care about climate change? Well, do you drive a car? Yeah, I have a car. I have to get to work. I have to get to the store. I have places I need to be. Unfortunately, we don't have public transportation. So I do need a car in order to get places, even though the fuel adds to the climate crisis. But the reality is, you having an iPhone, or you driving a car, or you using a plastic straw, none of that even adds up a little bit to the fact that 80% of global CO2 emissions come from just 57 companies. 80%. 80%. 57 companies. Global. So while this girl makes a really good point, that, yes, we do all have an individual responsibility. Yes, you should buy those metal reusable straws instead of using plastic straws so that we don't add to the plastic in the ocean. But the reality is that they have placed all of the blame on the consumer because they don't want to make a change. They shame you for using plastic instead of figuring out a way to produce less plastic. If that's what's available for you to purchase at the store, guess what? That's what you're going to purchase at the store because they're making it and then blaming you for purchasing it. It is done that way by design.
The market was never designed to provide public goods. The market was only designed to provide private goods. The environment is a public good. The market will always create profits for the corporations by depleting the natural resources to which the market will always assign a zero price. So the question is, how can you ameliorate for this drive? Can the state do it? No, the state cannot do it, because our states, our democracies, have completely been usurped by the concentration of money. Effectively, our politics has been purchased by those who have an interest in depleting the natural resources of the planet.
You know what's a major driving force of climate change right now? Global plastic production. Not plastic usage, plastic production. The companies that produce it. Why do companies produce so much plastic? Because it's cheap. It's cheap, it's cost effective, and if they tried to use something else, something more environmentally friendly, something maybe that lasts, that doesn't just crumble and disintegrate, but not quite entirely, meaning that it just sits and fills up landfills forever, because their profits wouldn't be quite so high if they did that. So when we have public outrage about climate change issues, about the consumption of fossil fuels, about plastic production, what do we need to do in order to protect our cute little profits so we can buy our 5th jet engine airplane? Is we need to claim that climate change is a hoax and that science is fake. Yeah, climate changes every year. It's called the changing of the seasons. Shut up.
What I can tell you is that climate change is real. We got to do something about it.
Yeah, this one's called autumn, sir. So
I'm sorry?
This one's called autumn right now, so yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't make out what you said, sir.
This climate change right now is called autumn, yes.
Yeah, that's the seasons changing, which respectively is not the same thing as the climate changing. And as somebody who is hoping to retire in the 2050s and who has kids who will be old enough to ask me as they're getting to their 30s, whether we did enough to deal with climate change.
This climate change right now is called autumn. If someone said that to me, this is why I wouldn't be a good politician. If someone said that to me, that would be my villain origin story. I would lose my mind entirely. But denying climate change so that you can continue these plastic productions and using up fossil fuels and just polluting the planet because you're not going to be here when it all goes to shit anyway, that's not enough. They need to go further. And anything that is in place to try and protect the climate, reverse the damage to the climate, well, that's just wasted money. I could buy my 10th yacht with that money. We need to take the money from those groups and give it to me.
I'm proud to support this very solid Energy and Water Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act of 2025. It's a good bill. It's going to secure our nuclear triad. It's going to protect our domestic energy supplies, and it's going to pressure this Biden administration to refill our strategic petroleum reserves. And I want to thank Chairman Cole and especially Chairman Fleischman, as well as the committee staff for their hard work on this bill and pulling this forward to the floor.
Instead of ensuring America leads the world in the development and transition to a global clean energy economy, the majority's bill strips $1.5 billion from the Department of Energy for energy efficiency and renewable energy.
It's like they're actively trying to destroy the future planet for future generations out of spite. And their final way of sealing that deal is to make sure that all of their constituents, all of their voters, believe that climate change is a hoax of the woke mind, virus left, whatever, so that you'll vote for the people to put in power who will strip that money away from the programs it needs to be for and give it to the selfish, already rich people who want to continue destroying the planet further for their own profit and gain.
Is the climate not a moral Christian value?
Well, we do want to take care of our climate, but I don't believe that what they're saying is true.
Are you a scientist, ma'am? Sorry.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Oh,
I am not.
So why do you not believe that it's true if scientists are saying that it is?
That's a good question, you know. I just don't believe all the things that they are saying. I mean, like Al Gore, all the things he's saying, how you have to, the climate is going, God has this all in his plan. We have to take care of the world. We have to take care of the climate. But I don't agree with what they're saying.
It baffles me every time that they can never answer why. They're like, I just don't believe it. I just think they're lying. And you're like, okay, what do you have to support that? And they go, I just don't believe it. Step one, you claim that climate change is a hoax made up by the left. Step two, you convince all of your voters that climate change is a hoax made up by the left so that they vote for people who will actively, step three, take money away from any organization or project or group that is designed to prevent climate change from furthering or help push back against the effects of climate change so that you can take all that, you can have even more money. Not only are you still making your profits that you shouldn't be making off of plastic and fossil fuels, but then there's more money sitting right there. Who cares about the planet? I'm going to die before it all goes to shit. Give me that money. Anyway, continue to take public transportation where you can, carpool, buy your metal straws instead of using plastic straws all the time. Try and take your recyclable bags to the grocery store so you're not using as much plastic. But just remember, 80% of what's driving climate change is not you. It's the major corporations who are actively trying to make it worse. So just remember, it's not entirely your fault or your responsibility. Take personal responsibility, but remember that it's not all on your shoulders. It's not all to blame for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out some of my content that isn't news related, you can check out my personal YouTube channel at Bad Gamer Wyatt. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.